Alright everybody, today's lore drop is a palate cleanser from whatever that last event was. I get it man, October's coming and the writers gotta give us some filler to focus on spooky season. They got me with a pump fake though, cause we got the overworld map with the minigame, so I thought,
oh shit, here we go again.
This is about to be Sapphire Isle caliber lore dumping, but aside from Albrecht dropping, that was weak. Quick comparison, the SR we got from Sapphire, Jinx Selena, this could feed generations of the Goon Gang, and way cooler than this rough draft Timu Piera. Minigame, Seafood Whack-A-Mole was at least engaging, while this? What is this man? And the overall story was the biggest filler we've seen since MCU Disney. All we got was Albrecht built a terrarium in a bottle, the shit got out of hand, so now we gotta stop his little spiders with the power of friendship. Alright bro. So to wash that event out of our mouths, let's talk about how focused the story can be when it really wants to tug at our heartstrings. Of course, this was the best event of the game so far, Against the Dying Light, a classic vampire vs werewolf star-crossed lover's tale. The story kicks off centuries ago.
Twisted fiction, sick addiction.
Agnes on a time travel mission.
Well, gather round, children, zip it, listen.
Agnes, an aspiring temporal cartographer, travels 600 years back to conduct a survey because a history journal she read got her dummy hype about its cliffhanger. She runs into James, who explains the villagers in Moray are facing a drought while fighting a plague turning people into blood beasts. Agnes realizes it's because their spring is tainted, and the two go off to find James's stolen basket of wolfsbane, the medicinal flower used to fight off the plague. Cut to Quinn, in captivity at the Bathory dungeon for refusing to drink human blood. Already stop right there. Such a tried and true character trait from vampiric lore. If you've read or watched Helsing in all its gothic glory, this invokes a true main character of the story, Ceres Victoria, a new vampire struggling with the idea of consuming human blood. But the lens she offers is the most pragmatic, questioning the morality of human nature's ethos with regards to the laws of the undead. Quinn is no different, not exactly new to this, but still defies the brutality of her lineage. She's Elder Baphomet's daughter, but only half bloodborn. Her mother Eleonora, who she's never met, is from the Lupine Forest, and the only thing she has from her mom is a special mark on her chest, sealing witch powers of the Crowleys in it. We also meet James's son, Jamie, who's also in jail for trespassing into Bathory territory while collecting wolfsbane. He's heard his dad mention Eleonora before and suggests they break out and head to Moray to get more info. This gargoyle breaks him out and tells him to head to Lupine Forest to find the truth about her mother. Back to Agnes. She and James run into a Johannes who's poisoning the townsfolk with contaminated water under the orders of a Lord Ezerith who has ulterior motives to turn them into blood-beast werewolves. The writers aren't just setting up plot twists, they're showing how fear and anger manipulate people, a theme just as relevant in gothic horror to our world. Makes you wonder how many of our wells are tainted. On the flip side, Jamie and Quinn reach Moray, jump-scaring Agnes and James in a cave. Agnes immediately falls for Quinn, while James fills them in. Quinn's mum, Eleanor Crowley, was a famed envoy who vanished 20 years ago, and Lord Ezerith was once close to her. They set off to find him for more answers. They reach Ezerith's camp where, in true RPG writing, the henchmen gossip about Eleonora's marriage into the Bathorys, and her alleged death at their hands. The crew confronts Ezerith, who admits he arranged his sister's marriage to bring peace between the Ganalods and Bathorys, only for it to end in her death. Agnes calls Cap, demanding proof, so he whips out Eleonora's old suitcase, but she immediately notices the red clay staining on it, found only in a chamber deep in Lupine Forest, not Bathory territory. Case closed. Ezerith killed his own sister and used it to justify war. So they return the favor, but it's too late. The full moon's already triggered mutations in the Ganalon bloodline, awakening his werewolf bioweapons. Who doesn't love a good military conspiracy? If you're American, you gotta at least be drawn to this conspiratorial shit, on a primal level. It's written throughout all her blood-soaked history, and all its vicious magnificence, spawning a nation screeching from deep within her bosom. Alright, relax, put the Second Amendment down, let's pick back up. A war horn sounds off in the distance as Ezerith's werewolf army is crossed into Bathory territory. Quinn and Agnes run off to stop Baphomet from retaliating as they know the false pretenses of war are in motion. They reach Baphomet in the Elder's chamber, but in a twisted gut punch, Father of the Year reveals he never loved Eleonora and only kept Quinn around as a walking Crowley blood bank. Like, can I delete this face from our roster? Sing it with me now.
His gear, whack. His jewelry, whack. The way that he talks, whack. The way that he doesn't even like to smile, whack.
Anyway, he and Elder Valora rush to the battlefield because the big bad wolves are knocking at the door. Quinn realizes the full moon is fueling both sides, drawing out the Ganelon's primal werewolves while rejuvenating the Bathory's vampiric powers. Agnes theorizes that the divine body beneath the castle is the Long Night, and ending it would make the darkness fade and stop the war altogether. I'm telling you, if this isn't peak writing, color me simple. Moving on, Cain appears and guides them to the ritual chamber sustaining the Long Night. He confirms the divine body seals its power, instead drawing it through a bloodletting ritual and urges them to destroy it before it's too late. Listen to this bit too.
The future of the Bathory is woven by my hands alone, not for anyone else to shape.
He kinda shows his ass here, letting us know he's more than a mere Bathory pawn. I don't know what it is about these gothic butlers, whether it be Walter from Helsing or
Alfred
from Batman, but these dudes always got some extra shit up their sleeves. Anyway, Cain disappears right before Elder Serene shows up. She's neutral in the war and just wants new vassals to play with. Sidebar, her 3D model reveal is gas. Her design jumped to top 3 for me after this. Any character design with extra arms is just undeniably... bro, honestly I just wish I had more arms, man. If biotech ever sells extra arms, I'm first in line. After all, Crab is the final form. Anyway, Quinn and Agnes beat her up and head into the Time War Mausoleum's elevator. Agnes maps the mausoleum as a manifestation of space-time laws. Down the east wing leads up to the ritual chamber at the top of the west wing. Once again, super clean world building. On this elevator ride, the two discuss the unfinished journal Agnes was reading that prompted her to come to this era in the first place. The whole time, she thought she was reading about Quinn's heroic endeavors, but Quinn assures her that the journal was always about Agnes. They eventually reach the ritual chamber and Quinn smashes it with her umbrella, ending the Long Night. On the battlefield, Baphomet kills Elder Valora just because. Bro's petty maxing and wants all the glory for himself, setting the battlefield on fire. On the backs of Bathory gargoyles, Quinn and Agnes fly over to confront Baphomet's raging flames. With Agnes injured, Quinn sends the gargoyles to carry her back to the cave she came from so she can return to her own time, while she single-handedly extinguishes Baphomet's flames using her Crowley powers. Agnes wakes up in her timeline, down bad, lamenting her failure as an aspiring temporal cartographer, but Gramps hits her with the wisdom. She's passed the ultimate test of a cartographer, grounding history's chaos in uncertain times. And as a cherry on top, Quinn arrives at Agnes's after 600 years to repay her gift of going back in time to find her. And they both live happily ever after. This is Chrono Trigger level storytelling, people, and with queer representation, which is double rare for a gacha game. Now come on, the writers got range. They can go from Shakespearean tragedy to gay anime romance, Lord of the Rings warfare, and still stick the landing. If you just started the game, don't get baited by these empty spider bottle filler episodes. Keep in mind, October hasn't even started its shift yet. Come next month, we'll see how the writers answer the season's howl to the moon. Knock on wood. Wood, get it? 'Cause, no pun intended, 'cause like your bone.